Hey people, how you doing today? So I just want to share a thought on this video. Okay, so here's the thought, right? It's actually in the form of a question or a rhetorical question, whichever way you want to spin it, all right? So, is it judgment or is it just your opinion? Let me explain. Oh, it is a nice day today here. It is a very nice day here in Brookhall Park in London. Side note, so what's the difference between an opinion and a judgment? So the dictionary's meaning says a view or a judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge, meaning this is just simply your thoughts or your opinion. The second meaning can be a statement of advice by an expert on a professional matter. So basically meaning someone who has expertise on something that they can formulate an opinion, or they can formulate a better statement, rather, you know, to be able to say what they have to say is either facts or this is what it is based on their professional knowledge. The meaning of a judgment is a judgment, first meaning, according to the dictionary, by the way, the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions, okay? Second meaning, a misfortune or a calamity viewed as divine punishment. So basically meaning that if you've done something wrong, and according to what you've done wrong, there is going to be a judgment passed, and based upon what is felt deemed as the punishment, or deemed as what's the judgment for the payment or anything that was wrongdoing, that's going to be the decision based upon that judgment. Generally speaking, nobody likes to be judged on their livelihood, on how they go about things, or even some things that they say, because they just generally feel like, okay, this is just me, and who are you to judge? Sometimes when some people do have a judgment, they do have a valid point, and sometimes the judgments in certain cases is a valid reason to have a judgment. So, for example, like let's say you go to court, you know, for a case. So, of course, in a case like that, where you're going to court, where you're leaving it up to the court system to basically decide your fate because you simply couldn't handle it on your own, then that's a legitimate judgment that you're having, because you're leaving it up to a judge to be able to say, this is where things go, this is how it is, and this is how you move forward. When someone says, this is just my opinion, it's just simply them saying, these are just simply my thoughts. It doesn't make it facts. No. They're just simply expressing their thoughts, their feelings onto whatever the subject is. That's all. Constructive criticism can be a good thing. However, depending on who's listening to the constructive criticism, it also can be taken as a negative thing. So with that said, that's why perception can be a hell of a thing. The reason why perception is a hell of a thing, because depending on one's understanding of what they're hearing or what is being told to them, will determine how they see things and how they don't see things, and how they're being taken, and how it's leading them to feel the way that they feel at the time that they're listening to what's being said. In the grand scheme of it, everybody has the right to feel the way that they feel, give an opinion that they feel, and even judge people or things that the way that they see or they feel about whatever it is that's going on or the subject matter. So the question becomes, was it a good judgment? Was it a fair judgment? Or was it simply just your opinion? Y'all let me know in the comments, okay, what is having a good opinion and what is having a bad opinion, and as well as y'all let me know what is a good judgment to give someone and what is a bad judgment to give someone in the comments. Y'all let me know. The reason for me saying all of this is the following. So I noticed, particularly between news media, YouTube, and even on social media, believe it or not, there has been, shall we say, beefs. There's been, all sorts of different, disagreements and things like that going on, okay? Now, I'm not ignorant, by saying that, that's not gonna happen, no. But my point is that because I'm noticing all of this, this is my point in bringing up this question. Is it an opinion or is it a judgment? And so there's a big difference between what's an opinion and what's a judgment. So you see, when you have an opinion, basically, it just simply says that you can either take it or you can either leave it. When you're making a judgment, you're basically saying that your statement is basically a final call or a final judgment on someone's lives, on someone's opinions, or on how somebody does things the way that they do. A judgment call is rather when you're making a final decision based upon somebody's lives, based upon how their thoughts are, or basically you're making a final decision or a final judgment based upon actions or words to say what you're saying is facts or this is the gospel, basically, or rather, this is just the way it is. As long as there's truth into that judgment call, okay, and also that judgment call is stating the facts at the same time, then the judgment call can be legitimate. However, it doesn't mean that the judgment call has to be listened to. Yeah? I will say this, if you're going to give an opinion or a judgment call, okay, also be ready for the pushback or the kickback or any kind of negative feedback that you may just get that comes with having to say something, and especially when you say something publicly, okay?